Alright, welcome to my day 28 progression guide. So for today, we did not get a level increase, but from what I hear, our level increases are going to start to slow down. Tomorrow, I think we're only going to get a 1 level increase. So what that means is we're only going to be able to go to 61. This is probably only being done so that way it can help the people that don't get a chance to play all day and they can catch up with the rest of us. So starting out, you want to do Mia's Kitchen, you want to do your bounties, then you want to do your ruins, and if you have any story left over, go ahead and complete that. Now for vitality. So for today, we got access to a new joint operations. It's the Deep Sea Stronghold, and if you notice, we got access to pants, gloves, a king matrix, and a crow matrix. So this is pretty good. So if you wanted to use some vitality solutions, now may be the time. And again, I do want to point out that supposedly if you only open the 3rd box, you have a higher % to get these rewards. So you might want to try that. But besides that, you can do interstellar exploration, and again, you want to make sure you check the first category to see if you have 2 or more. Now if you have some nanofibers, you might want to go ahead and knock that out. Then after that, we have dimensional trials, but I do want to point out that you might want to pass on these because tomorrow we reach level 61 and we get access to the higher difficulty one, so we get better materials. So today I would probably spend it on joint ops or interstellar exploration, and that is the same for space-time domains. For other ways to get experience, you can get Rust and Iron chest, password chest, and supply pods. But other than that, check out my experience guide if you want some more ways. Then don't forget to do your daily gifts. You want to go to the black market and talk to Hopkins. You want to go to Cetus Island and do the claw machine. Then you want to do your 2 ability trainings. Quick tip, if you get the rhythm training, Samir is MVP. Next, you want to maintain your vehicle. So some of the best places is Astra Shelter. The next place would be Bangi Shelter. After that, we got the black market. And the best place, High Crows. Also attack any elemental rocks you see for crystals. Alright, so now I wanted to briefly discuss Frigg's buffs. She did slightly get buffs, mainly for the Lotus Spin / free-to-play players. But what ended up happening is, before the maintenance last night, we did not have this increased frost attack when we cast the skill, but now that's added. Beforehand, even though it wasn't written in the description, this increased frost attack only happened if you had a C3 or above Frigg. So if you notice, my Frigg is C1. Let's go ahead and take a look at my frost attack. It's 5477. If I cast the skill, it now goes to 6192. And not only were those buffs added, it looks like Frigg has kind of reached her CN counterpart. Most of her star abilities roughly have the same description as they do in CN. This used to say 20%, but now it's 25%. And if you notice at the 6 star, it was 12%, but now it's at 25%. And this is what it was in the CN version. And even though Frigg was doing this already, it just didn't have this in the description. They just updated the description, so that is why Frigg is pretty powerful, even though when you read the abilities, it didn't really look that way. The only difference from CN is her multi-slash, to where her multi-slash is still only doing 143% damage, whereas in CN it does 200 something. But we do have a little consolation prize because we do have the Frost Resonance, which CN does not have. So Frigg is a pretty strong character, but I do want to warn you, they're making Frigg look really good, so you might be tempted to roll. Unless you really want a Frost team, I don't recommend you rolling on Frigg because we have some upcoming characters coming out like Claudia, Lynn, other maybe powerful characters, so you want to look at your financial situation before you try to go all out on Frigg. Now for the Road to Strife event. Now if you notice for today, I need 1500 star grit to max out, and the reason being is because I wasn't able to get the 1200 yesterday. I was 300 off, so what they did was now they allowed me to get 1500 today. So for the people that aren't able to do the Road to Strife event every day, don't worry, you can just spend a day and just catch up like the rest of us. But for today, all we got access to is the Stellar Way Divergence, so it's just Stargate. Then we got the weekly tab. You want to make sure you're doing enough things so that way you get all the rewards up top. Now let's look at challenges. So again, you want to make sure that you're climbing the Bygone so that way you can climb the ranks and you can get those really good rewards. For Frontier Clash, we got another attempt today, but if you want, you can save these attempts and just try to do these all on Saturday or something, but that is completely up to you. Now for the wormhole. Now the wormhole was actually pretty difficult. I actually was not able to complete it. I got stuck like midway, and one of the main reasons why I got stuck was due to the weak points. So if you notice right here, their vulnerability is flame, and the only character that I really have leveled up in flame is King. So King's not really a DPS, he's more of a shatterer. He does do some damage, but he's not really carrying my team. But the biggest thing that hurts is Volt Immunity. I'm like, I can't really do anything. I have a C5 Samir and I have C6 Nemesis. That's my main team. But I did want to give some strats that I did notice for some of the people that did clear it or that's been working out. Meryl's really good. I've seen Zero be used to where he can just constantly keep shooting you and healing you back up to where you can't really die. Even though Nemesis can't do any damage, you can still kind of use her to heal back up. And I did want to point out this new blessing room. Like Blood Rage is actually pretty good, and then you can just try to go for the crit buffs because it does sacrifice your crit rate to give you more crit damage, which can be really good. But if you don't have a lot of crit rate, this might not go off as much. So again, why today doing the joint operations might be good, because if you can get a good pair of gloves and get a lot of crit, you might be able to clear this a little easier. Then we got the Void Rips. You want to check and see if this is a first time boss for you. If so, want to make sure you go and do that. And last but not least, we have Apex League. If you're trying to climb the ranks and reach Grand Marshal, you might want to put in a couple hours today. Now for our daily buys. So you want to go to shop, hot, and go ahead and buy your 2 vitality solutions. Now this is only if you can afford it. Then I want to talk about the Clotho supply pod. For today, we have an 80% discount. But again, how the math works out, this is like if you're going to spend 900 dark crystals for either 10 standard rows or 10 matrix rows. And with Artificial Island coming out soon, this may not be worth it. Then we got the Commissary, starting with the Crystal Dust Store. So make sure you buy your advancement modules and your booster modules for the week. Again, we have the joint operations where we get the hand guards and the pants. So if you are going to run that a lot, you might want to do that first before you decide to buy any pieces of gear. But now at least we have access to all pieces of gear, so whatever gear is looking pretty bad, probably buy a couple copies. Then we got the Crew Store. Ideally you want to buy potent Omnium crystals, or you want to buy relic shards. And how you get crew points is by doing crew donations and doing your 4 missions for the week. Next, you got the support store, so you want to make sure you're buying your 3 joint supply chips. They're really going to come in handy now. And some of the best ways to get support points is to do Frontier Clash normal. It just gives you experience, support points, machine parts. On top of that, you can do difficulty 1, matrix drills, and dimensional trials, and just have a team of 2 or more and spam that for 150 support points. You can do void rifts for 150 support points, or you can farm world bosses. If you force the cipher, you get 100 support points and machine parts. Besides that, you can go achievement hunting, explore the map, or go mount farming. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and if so, check out my day 27 video. But other than that, talk with you guys later.